What is going on, everybody? I am Emmanuel Altenor for Basketball Bicker. Now, I'm sure you've heard by now about Kyrie Irving's comments that he made at one of the podcasts with Channing Frye and Richard Jefferson. It was the biggest, probably the biggest story of Friday, NBA All-Star Media Day, when he claimed that he believes the earth is flat. That was a big joke on social media. Some people were saying, Kyrie should have spent 3 more years in college instead of leaving after one season because he believes this. Now, personally, I'm sure that the earth is round. And I'm going to just use this as an excuse to share my amazing footage of the moon that I've caught. To me, from the images that I've taken, it looks round to me. It was a pretty bold, maybe even outrageous claim in most people's eyes. But you have to really listen to the entire interview. And he's going deep in there. It seems like, you find a little inaccuracies in the histories you've learned. So once you find a few of those inaccuracies, and these are inaccuracies that were pushed purposely, so you start to question everything. And then you go through a process of re-educating yourself, relearning different things. Now I think that's the process that Kyrie might be going through. That's an important path to take if we want to change the world we live in. He said something about the people who are truly unifiers, the true peacemakers, being government enemies and government targets. If you look at someone like Dr. Martin Luther King, he was a peacemaker. He was a unifier. He wanted true equality. And he was a government target. He was hated. He was despised. And now we celebrate him. We should have celebrated him when he was alive. And it is these veils that we have to lift in order to improve our world. If we lift these veils, our world will be a better place, because we're forced to look at ourselves in the mirror and say that the facade is not accurate. We're not there, and we haven't been there. I was watching a documentary the other day about World War II. I had already known this, but it's astounding how many prominent people and businesses supported and enabled Hitler and the Nazis. It's crazy. And you can probably guess that things like that are going on today, in our world today. So I got more from the interview than just the cool, funny soundbite. You should always question everything, because most of the stuff presented have been manipulated. You shouldn't just speak love. You should be love. You should seek love, give love, seek knowledge. Always looking to learn and absorb. Embrace people. Truly embrace people. Don't just come in peace. Come in love. And don't just dismiss Kyrie's entire interview just off of that one part. What he's saying is important. If we expect the next generations to be better, to change the world, we have to rewrite the history. We have to correct that history. Because you can't learn from history if the history is inaccurate. How can you learn from history if it's inaccurate? You have to correct that history first. So it's important. We have to be on the path of enlightenment, looking to learn. And that's what Kyrie is doing. And I commend him because he doesn't necessarily have to do this. He's a millionaire playing on his talent. When you're that good as an NBA player, you have leeway to do a little more as you please. So he doesn't necessarily have to do this or say things like this. But he does. And if a young millionaire is saying, that he goes home at night and he is educating himself, he's learning. He's not saying, he's at the club partying, which is cool. That's fine. But he's enlightening himself. That's a positive, so don't discourage him.